So we're following JMX through turn 6 and 7 into turn 8 on his first flying lap of qualifying for this session. Only a short 8-minute session, so very, very big premium on getting your lap times in as quick as possible. So he's heading down through to 11 and 12. Getting a nice apex there and a good exit. Now for the big blast down the main straight. 2 more curves to negotiate. And you'll want to be careful not to pick up a penalty through here as he just straddles that line. His first time is going to come through, 117.7. Let's see what Ridwan comes through, and he's done a 117.4 to put himself on pole. Here comes Vifersed across the line, and he's 2/10 off. So our winner from the Blue Moon Bay 250 in the trackside touring cars is only down in P3 at the moment, but a big surprise there is Broccolilli, who's put in a 117.5 and is just behind Ridwan. So I think many were expecting Ridwan and Viperzed to be the form drivers along with Jono Stan, so see Broccolilli up there is probably a bit of a surprise, but definitely a very good effort there from the ICR ER driver. There's another one to look out for as well. Here is Duram 50. He took a dominant display in the TS2 touring cars this time last week with 2 victories in the 50-kilometre races around the Blue Moon Bay infield A circuit. So he'll be one to look out for as well, and I'm sure he'll be right up the front in the CP Motorsports Dallara SF19. I believe that might be a Honda, but might have to confirm that one. As I'm not sure what's going on here, but Jono Stan's stuck on the track at the outside of turn 6 and 7. He just gets moving now, so don't know whether he's looking to get himself some space, but very unusual one there.
Yes, it is a little bit unusual there for Jono Stan 96 to get himself stuck there and just maybe got a quick bathroom break or something like that. I'm not too sure. So hopefully he'll be able to get one lap in, because he looked like he was on a flying lap, but then all of a sudden he just parked it up and said, you know what, the toilet calls me, so I've got to go in. Give me a couple of minutes and then I'll be back on the track for some qualifying. But he's got less than 3 minutes to go, so he should be easily be getting at least another 2 laps, possibly 3 laps.
Yeah, should at least, 2, maybe 3 even, but yeah. As we look on board with Duram 50, who's gone through his qualifying lap now. He's yet to set a time himself as JMX goes up to 3rd place. 117.7. And I just missed as well that Broccolilli's gone top of the timesheets.
Oh, Broccolilli making his debut in the ICE racing team formula, where he was a free agent for the Hawco Racing Academy, but he's joined forces with Benjo, GLR 19, and the ICE Racing Group, and he's formed he's put in a great partnership with Broccolilli and Benjo and put out a very nice livery that's very similar to the one that he has in the TS2 touring cars compared to his formula car, but it is striking to see that car. So what do we look at? Duram 50, what's he going to put as his first flying lap? Is he going to get himself into the 116, 17, 18? He's put himself up into 3rd place. So Duram 50, what was going to be a little bit of a not a shock, because after his performance in the TS2, after taking a dominant win at the Blue Moon Bay Infield A 100 TS2 race, it's converting into the formulas.
Yeah, certainly some good form there from Duram 50, and of course he's doing very well in both the touring cars and the formulas at this stage, and certainly someone that CP Motorsports will have to look at in the future possibly.
Well, he's definitely going to be putting his hand up for a co-drive for the Enduros coming up later in the year at the Kyoto 500, the Bathurst 1000, and the St. Croix C 1500. So he'll be definitely one to keep an eye on. As Jono Stan comes through the line, he only stays in 15th. So he's only got one more lap, Jono Stan. This is going to be a pressure lap for Jono, but I think most of us, at least in the Track Stars and maybe Gran Turismo community, know Jono Stan 96, and it's a very unusual spot for him to be in 15th place. As we see Red One F1 coming across the line, he's also going to get another lap in, using that overtake button to good use, but he's not going to get this lap done. He's going to get himself in the next lap. But Jarman, I think there's one person that we're missing on this screen. Where is Xylon 96, our championship leader in the TSF2 division? Where is he on track? He has not put himself in the top 8, so he's definitely going to be on the back
sitting
foot
in
unless
7th.
he's now in 7th now, so he's been promoted up into 7th place. But Xylon 96, our championship leader in the Formula 2 series, he's basically, I would say, nowhere to be seen, because this is his category, this is his repertoire in the Formula series, but he still hasn't been able to get a good lap. As we see Dark 74 promote himself up into 2nd place. And what about Brocker Lilly? Can he improve his lap time for his final lap? Is he using his overtake? He hasn't got any more, so he's just using the straight 600 horsepower SF19, but he doesn't improve there. As we see Viper Zed take pole position there on a last minute lap, so great performance from Viper Zed. And Jono Stan, from what was going to be a 15th starting position, now promoted himself up into 2nd place, so that shoves down Brocker Lilly. What about Red 1 F1? Can he get himself up into the 2nd row of the grid, get himself off the 3rd row and get close to his teammate right behind him in 3rd, or even a front row start for the satellite racing team? We'll have to wait and see. As he's coming across the line now, we see him going to go 2nd. So it is a Viper Z and Red 1 F1 for satellite racing 1-2. So very common, so very nice front row that we usually see in the Formula 1 with the Mercedes and Red Bulls usually taking front rows, but it looks like it's Viper Z and Red 1 for satellite racing taking 1 and 2.
Yeah, very good performance there from the 2 satellite racing drivers. And
I see as well, Duran for CP Motorsports been promoted up, has moved himself up into 3rd place. So great to shove down Jono Stan in a 3rd place in his CP Motorsport entry. So great performance for Duran. So continuing on from his dominant performance in the TS2 race back at Blue Moon Bay. But it is Viper Z and Red 1 F1, the VSR satellite racing team 1 and 2, followed by Duran 50 and Jono Stan and Brocker Lilly rounding up the top 5. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, round 4 of the Track Stars Formula 2 series at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Paz at Interlagos, where it is Viper Z and Red 1 F1 blocking out the front row for satellite racing with Duran 50 and Jono Stan 96 in 4th place, Brocker Lilly and Dark 74 in 6th and 5th and 6th, with Stylon and JMX rounding up a Toll Mashabad's 4th row. As we see Viper Z getting underway, this lights out green flag racing, so a bit of a slow start for Viper Z. But what about Red 1? He's got himself in a bit of pressure there from Duran 50 as he looks to make a move on Red 1 F1, but he doesn't, so it is Viper Z leading the way. And I do see on his screen, he looks like he's on the soft tyres, is that right?
yeah, that's right, he is on the soft tyres, so going for the softs at the start and then possibly the super softs at the end.
So it's going to be an interesting strategy here, ladies and gentlemen. 24 laps racing out to Autodromo Jose Carlos Paz in Interlagos, as we see Viper Z leading from Red 1 F1 with Brocker Lilly in 2nd, Dark 74 in 4th with Duran in 5th, so he's dropped a few positions. Cylon and JMX in 6th and 7th, so we have ourselves a good battle with Rugworth in 8th, and I believe that's Mickey's 1, 2, 3 in 9th place. But what I've noticed as well, gentlemen, has Jono Stan dropped out of the top 5?
No, he's in 4th place at the moment.
He is in 4th place. Okay, I just
believe.
didn't see his name. I did not see his name come through, unfortunately. So
Maybe he isn't. Maybe he has dropped out of the...
He has.
He's down
so
in 13th.
So Jono Stan has got himself a poor start, and he's dropped himself down as low as 13. As we don't know what happened there. Maybe he got himself a half-second penalty and he burnt it off. I'm not too sure. We'll have to look back at the race replay at the end of the race, but he's dropped himself down to 13th after starting 4th. So John Stan coming in as a last-minute entry for the pre-qualification and getting himself into an easy top 5 and a 4th place. He's struggling a little bit.
Yeah, it's certainly struggling at the start, but yeah, I'm sure he's got a long race to get through the field.
It is a long race to come, so we'll have to keep an eye on John Stan. I'm not so sure what tyres he's starting on, but whatever strategy he's going to run, he's going to be pushing and abusing the overtake button for sure to get himself back up to where he belongs. But as we look up back towards the front, we do see Viper Z Route 1 leading a Satellite Racing 1-2 with Brocker Lily in 3rd place. Dark 74, the privateer entry, making his debut in the TSF2 division in 4th place, putting on a great performance as a debut in his as an independent team, with Cylon 96 in 5th as our championship leader, followed by JMX in 6th place, Rugworth in 7th, and Duram 50 in 8th place.
So I think we missed something happening to Duram 50 as well.
Chaos is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Lou is going to get under attack from Dark 74. Can Darks make a move on the outside? He's made it before turn 1, Jarman. So a great move for Dark 74, putting on a performance that's definitely going to keep an eye out on the team managers here. Starting down in 5th place, and has moved himself up into 3rd place. So great performance by Dark 74, as we see Xylon right behind in 5th and JMX in 6th. So it's going to be one to keep an eye on for the final placings of the podium, because I do believe that Viper Z and Route 1, I can see the gap between those two. They're pulling away from Dark 74.
Yeah, they're driving away with this one, and obviously on the soft tyres as well at the start of the race. So it's very much a cruisy race for those two at this stage, but who knows what can happen later on in the races. This is a very unpredictable beast.
The field is very quiet. It's pretty tight. It looks congested. So it's nobody's race to lose. It's everyone. At least possibly the guy that could be in 10th place could even make himself up into the podium. But the pack is so close to each other in these first opening few laps of the race.
Yeah, maybe we should make a look back a bit further and see if there's some action going on. We've got the group of JMX, Rugworth, Jerome, Mickey's. Not sure who's in 10th. I believe that's Hinsey sitting in 10th as well.
Hinsey for the Pit Lane Esports entry, making to look a charge for his championship as he sits 4th place behind Mick Hees and Robbo Sports in the Robbo Sport Racing Super Formulas, with Cylon 96 leading the way with 420 points, and Robbo Sport a fair margin behind Cylon 96. But I guess you put that into sense that a guy that JMX was, I think it was in 2nd place before, he missed one round at Austria, so it definitely hinders his performance.
Yeah, and we haven't applied drop rounds to the scores yet, so that could bring him well and truly back into contention later on in the series when drop rounds come into effect.
Exactly, and even a guy like Highland 215, who we do see back in the seat of his Super Formula, where he had a great performance running under Gridline Racing in round 1 at the Dragon Trail Seaside Grand Prix, at the Croatian Grand Prix. He's now lined himself up with Benjo GLR 19 and the ISAR Racing. He's up down in 12th place, and he's 7th in the championship as well. So a bit of work for Highlander to do. I'm not so sure if this has been a bit of a break from the game, or he hasn't jumped on, or he just hasn't been participating in league races. We're not so sure. So I'm thinking he's going to be finding his feet again back in the Trackstars Formula 2 series.
As Jono makes a move, and now he's back into the top 10, gets by Hinsey. It looked a bit close there. I think we might need to see another angle of that overtake.
As we catch a replay, John Stan using that overtake button to full use. And you see even Highlanders looking to think about making a move as well. So this could be quite chaotic there. So does John Stan make the move stick? He does. So he's made that very clean on Hinsey 1982. So John Stan has moved himself up back to the top 10 as he said. He's got Mick Hees 123 ahead of him. So Mick Hees as well is getting himself some laps under his belt, because as well he'll be making his debut, or his second race debut in the Trackstars Formula Series in the main division. Oh, as he looks a little bit tail happy there, as John Stan's going to sweep around the outside on Mick Hees. It looks like he's going to get it stick. Yes, he does. So great move for John Stan, and compromise and use that to his advantage of Mick Hees' mistake.
Yeah, he's moving through the field very quickly here, and he's definitely going to be one to follow in this race, that's for sure. I'm sure he's going to be part of plenty of the action.
And as I look towards split 2, Jarman, we have TTV Bite the Roses from EBM Motorsport in first place, with Wex Gullet for the Belgium Nightwalker Racing Team in second, with Haz Mahood actually making a pit stop, so he's swapping over from super softs to soft tyres. He's up into, he was in third place at the time, with Venti Super Softs, I should say, in third place, and with the final placing with SRF Han in fifth place for the ISR Racing. So the ISR Racing team in all forms, in both main split and second split.
Yeah, they're definitely a strong representation from the ISR team, so it's good to see Benjo, as team leader, has certainly gone out and done plenty of recruiting to get himself as many drivers as possible.
Absolutely, and all about drivers' performance and quality, and I guess getting in a run on a Sunday morning or a Sunday night just for a bit of experience. So why not? Why not jump on? As we see, as I did catch that replay that you highlighted there, Jarman, what happened to Zyla 96? Did he get overtaken or something?
I think there was a little bit of a battle between himself and Rugworth up in the turn 1, but I think Xylon held himself out as Jono just sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:18.3 and gets himself up in the 7th now as Rugworth gets all out of shape through the centre rest.
Oh, so he gets out of shape and drops himself down a few positions there. So very unlucky for Rugworth. He was up into 8th place there, so he's making, as Highlander 215 makes a move on him. So we see a quick replay of what happens there. He looks like he broke deep, hit Zyla 96 in the rear, and oh, was that a little hit from John O'Stair?
Yeah,
or maybe
might have to look at another angle there.
That's a bit interesting, that one. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as we do the post-race debrief with the F2 guys. We can see Zyla 96 and John O'Stan as we see. Oh no, that is, so he did it all by himself. So good pick up there, Jarman. As we see John O'Stan and Zyla 96 battling for 6th place. John O'Stan on the recovery drive for what was a bit of an unusual mistake for him on lap 1, where he would really never make any mistakes on a lap 1 race, on the first lap of the race, as he makes his easy move on Zyla 96 well before the straight. As we see Duran 50 also going to make a move. So Zyla's within one straight, he's going to lose 2 positions, but what about Duran 50? Can he make up 2 positions as he goes for an outside move on John O'Stair 96? Is he going to make that stick? No, he doesn't, so he's going to tuck in right in ahead of Zyla 96, and for Zyla 96, he's struggling a little bit, Jarman.
Yeah,
as we see, I do apologise, we see Highlander 215 getting close to the rear bumper of Zyla 96 there as well. So Highlander's in the mix, as we called it earlier that Highlander must have taken a break, but ISR Racing has recruited him and got him to do some laps, and he's up into 9th place and putting on a great battle for 8th place with Duran. He's going to go around the outside, surely not. Is he going to make that stick? No, he does, but he doesn't going to make that move. He hasn't made that move as Rugworth comes into the party, but Highlander for the moment stays in 9th place. So what a great battle we've got going on for 7th place here. As we see a yellow flag up ahead, who is that? That's made a mistake. As we look up towards the front, is that going to be Ridwan F1, Jarman? That is Ridwan F1 as we catch a replay. What happened to Ridwan? He just runs too wide, and and Dogs has followed him as well.
Yeah, this is incredible stuff, and that's going to be really costly for Ridwan, and an easy position for Jono, who's been coming through the field as well. And I should mention, with Jono putting in the fastest lap, that Viper Z responded straight away the next lap with a faster lap time himself, so certainly making sure that he doesn't get outdone by Jono and keeps the 10-second gap well under control.
Very good from John O'Stan to claw his way up from 14th up to 5th. So a great performance from John O'Stan, and he's already 9 laps into the race, and he's got himself a long way to go, Jarman. So as these tyres start degrading, these drivers will be thinking about making a pit stop very soon. So a minimum 5 laps on the racing super softs and racing soft tyres. So whatever these guys are on, they will have to make a pit stop and swap compounds. But it looks like even the battle for second place, John O'Stan is within a great shout of getting second place.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I know Viper Z's cleared out, but yeah, the battle for second is certainly on here.
Amazing scene, ladies and gentlemen. JMX is up into fourth while his teammate is down into sixth place. So Xylon 96, that championship leader, not really making headlines at the moment, is struggling down in sixth place, and he's not really keeping up with John O'Stan because a guy like Highlander 215 is actually caught up to the back of him. As I did think Duram 50 was behind him, so something must have happened to Duram in the last lap or two. As Highlander thinks about making a move on Xylon 96, I apologise, but he doesn't make that stick. As Highlander's up into 7th place with Ridwan from an easy, possibly an easy 2nd place, now down into 8th place.
Yeah, it's looking like a bit of a struggle there for Xylon, but the only thing I can say is maybe there's not too much difference between the soft and hard tyres and the not soft and hard tyres, the softs and the super softs, and maybe there's more degradation on the super softs, and might be something to consider, maybe a pit stop very shortly.
Possibly, because an undercut here is very strong in these cars, as we usually see in the real life Formula 1, that the undercut is real because of that really long pit lane where drivers have to negotiate that little sequence of S's just as they go next to the center S's there. So luckily for the game, it does it automatically, so I guess in a way it doesn't really lose time, but a guy that goes through the S's really quickly can gain a lot.
Yeah, that's certainly right there, as Jono now moves side by side with JMX on the exit of 3, so they'll go to battle down straight.
So JMX has made a bit of a big mistake coming into the entry of the center S's, and he's paid for it with John O'Stan moving himself up into 4th place there. So another great position for John O'Stan. Ticks another box. Now he's got his sights on Broccolilli and making that podium position. As we did see there, is that a lap? I think is that a lap car that Darks is going to overtake, or was that?
Yeah, it is. That's Benjo.
That's Benjo GLR19. Yep. Okay,
so Jono just rounds Benjo now, and so does Highlander.
Very good. So Highlander's actually moved himself up into 6th place there, so he's actually made the move on Xylon 96. With Xylon really struggling to adapt to his car. He probably hasn't spent enough time during the week to get some practice in around this track, as we see a guy like Darg74 making his debut. A great performance for Dargs, and showed great pace in the pre-qualification to promote himself up into 3rd place overall.
Not sure if he tried to sell the dummy there by the looks of things. Just looked like he jolted towards pit lane and then went, never mind, hoping he was going to catch someone out. And just as we spoke about Xylon making the pit stop, he's just gone into the pits right now.
Very early stop there for Xylon 96. Goes from the super softs to the soft tyres, as Ridwan F1 as well has made a pit stop. So he was on the soft tyres. He'll be looking to make a hard charge on the super softs as his Xylon 96 pit crew gets underway, changes the tyres and jumps on the soft tyres. And with Ridwan right behind him, these two hopefully will be able to make a charge up towards the front after this pit stop.
Yeah, let's see how, I believe Hinzy's made his pit stop as well, so let's see how they come out together. I'm going to say probably a little bit behind Xylon and Ridwan here. Well, actually they'd be behind by a long way. Yeah,
so Hinzy's struggling a little bit, but I guess for him, consistency is key for him to at least try to keep a top 5 in the championship, and he's doing a great effort at that. So Hinzy will be looking to make maybe a bit more of a charge, hopefully in the next round or two, just to really show that he is, that the performance that he has got, he can make a charge at least top 5. As we see John O'Stan make a move on Broccolilli, he's going to also make a move on Dargs 96 as Darg goes defensive. John O'Stan's going to outbrake him, and as he make the move stick, he has. So what a lovely move. It's a very Max Verstappen-esque move there from John O'Stan 96, making a great move just before the center S is there as he makes his way up into the Interlagos turn 4 and 5 complex. So John O'Stan from all the way back as Dargs thinks about making a move on John O'Stan. He shoves him wide, side by side action from Dargs 74. John O'Stan as is coming up to turn 6 and 7 corner. Will Jono Stan keep the lead in second place? He has. So Dargs is going to stick right behind him in third place there. But by the looks of his overtake, Jarman, he's showing red on his overtake. So that means he's got basically nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, that's certainly right. He doesn't have a lot of overtake left, and he's using all of it up in the first half of the race, so he might have nothing left to defend by the end of the race. Oh, that's a very ambitious move there.
Oh, he's thinking about a move on Jono Stan, and Jono Stan was not thinking about it. Look who's that brought into play. Broccolilli. So Broccolilli's going to get a double toe from Darg 74 and Jono Stan. So who has the better overtake between Dargs, Jono and Broccolilli, as Darg starts to go for the inside move, as Jono Stan thinks about going on the inside. He sends it and Dargs moves across, but side-by-side action, Dargs and Jono Stan's lost the rear end of the track, and he's off the track. Is he going to take out Dargs? He has, and Dargs has gone a little bit wide there with Jono Stan coming up worse for wear, and Dargs as well, but look who's that promoted. Broccolilli into second place here, so wow. What a sequence of the corner, and he's hit Jono Stan. Darg 74, as we might be able to see a quick replay of that. But wow, aggressive and hard racing, but I'm not so sure about that last move, Jarman.
Yeah, doesn't look nice there at all, so... Sure, yeah, it looks very strange one there, so...
Very weird that, he didn't even hit him, so maybe Jono Stan ran a bit too deep and he just put the car out wide, but... Wow, what a hectic last few corners there. That is amazing. That was great hard racing between Jono and Darg. So Jono Stan thought he was going to get second place easy, but Darg said, "Not on my watch, son. I know you might be an FIA competitor driver, but you know I'm here for the show and I'm here to make a name for myself."
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the stewards think of that one later on, as that might have crossed the line just a little bit between the two. So. We may see some post-race reviews on that one.
Exactly. So Jono Stan goes from second to fifth place. So Jono Stan himself as well will be looking to make a pit stop here. So as we look up towards the front, it is Viperset leading the way by a comfortable 15 seconds here. He hasn't got much TV time because for Viperset, I think he doesn't need TV time because he's always up at the front.
Yeah, he's just cleared out away from the field here, and it was a bit like Duran last week in the TS2 touring cars, and probably Viperset himself in the main series as well in the Blue Moon Bay 250, where he just cleared out, and probably wasn't too much of a battle to watch between him and the rest of the field.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we might be able to go for an onboard jump, and maybe we can go into cockpit view. We might even be able to get a full lap underway from Viperset leading the way and about to commence lap 16 of 24. So sit back, enjoy a lap of Autodrama de Carlos Paz Interlagos. Just an amazing sight from Viperset, just so smooth on the controller and just getting his apexes is perfect. For Viperset leading the way for satellite racing themselves, a nice onboard shot from Viperset there, and it just shows his class and it just shows what kind of driver he is, as we do see Broccolilli and Dargs make a pit stop coming out on lap 17 of 24, so they'll be making a short stop on the soft tyres here. So it's a battle of the pit crews, Jarman. Who's going to come out on top?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Broccolilli might have the edge here, but of course the other thing we've got to look out for is that Jono Stan was right on the tail, so maybe he might be going for the overcut this time around.
Jono Stan will be looking for a massive overcut, and he'll have to pit at least at the end of lap 19 to be classified and to not get a penalty for not running the compulsory, or not running a mandatory tyre of both super softs and soft tyres for a minimum of 5 laps. So as we see Broccoli out into third place, he's got JMX right behind him. So this is going to be a great battle for the second place at the podium, because Jono Stan's going to be right out behind. So Broccoli, Jono Stan, and Dargs and JMX. Who's going to take out second place at that podium? Time will tell within the next 8 laps, as we see Broccoli fending off JMX here. And they've had a great battle between himself, JMX, and Xylon 96 back at the Österreich ring at the Red Bull Ring circuit in April of this year, and they had a great battle that was going on for second place after Soltash Racer 83 took out a comfortable victory, and Broccoli and JMX and Xylon were showing their class in that race, and what great racing that was between those guys, as Broccoli has just edged ahead of JMX. So he's got his practice laps done around this track, so JMX is just going to be tucking into that slipstream, and as Jono Stan and 5% make their pit stop very soon, all will play out within the next 6 laps to go.
Yeah, as JMX makes a move there, I think Jono's going to have to get into the pits very soon, because he's losing a lot of time on the undercut here to Broccoli, JMX and Dargs, and as you saw, JMX is a bit behind on this group here of Broccoli and Dargs, and he's just used the undercut to good effect and got himself right in the battle for this second place.
Broccoli's just coming up towards definitely Calypso in the Nightmare Walking Racing team. I can confirm in the split 2, TTV Bite the Roses is starting his final lap. He's actually leading the way by a healthy margin over Wex Scale in the Night Walker Racing team in second place, with Veneti Supersofts actually promoting himself up into third place there as well. So as we see 5% and Jono Stan back on the main split taking their pit stop, so that's one to keep an eye on with Jono Stan. But as TTV Bite the Roses negotiates the final sector of this track, he's going to take an easy win for the EBM Motorsport team. As he's come out towards the final corner, he's going to win this race comfortably over Wex Scale. So TTV Bite the Roses takes out split 2 of the Track Stars Formula 2 series for the Brazilian Grand Prix. So congratulations to the EBM camp and TTV Bite the Roses. They picked out a great driver in him.
Yeah, as Broccoli comes out ahead of Jono Stan, so Jono Stan looks like he's down in 7th place after that pit stop, so big victim of the undercut there.
So the overcut did not work at all for Jono Stan's favour, as we see Ridwan F1 has actually put himself up back into 5th place, and JMX has actually dropped down to 4th. So JMX, Ridwan and Dargs are all going to be fighting out for the final place of the podium here, ladies and gentlemen. So sit back, don't go anywhere, because this is going to get very hectic between these guys. And can they actually catch up to Broccoli with 5 laps to go?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's looking promising for Ridwan, as he's got a bit under half the overtake allocation left, and I don't think JMX has basically got nothing and Darks has used it all, so I think they're going to be sitting ducks here in the last few laps as
Ridwan's overtake button looking. Oh, yeah. He's got heaps. So he could possibly go for a double move here. Surely not. Ridwan, JMX and Darks battling it out for the final step of the podiums. Can Ridwan make a move on JMX? He has, but can JMX go around the outside? Max Verstappen-esque? Yes, he has. So great racing between JMX and Ridwan. This is giving Dargs a bit of a confidence boost to pull away just a little bit. But JMX is right in the slipstream with 5 laps to go. JMX and Dargs. And look at that, Jarman. Jono Stan and Xylon right in the mix as well. So this is going to be a 5-way battle for the final placings on the podium. This is amazing.
Does that go 3 wide into turn 6 here?
Oh, 3 wide? No, that is surely not. Ridwan F1 thinking about making a move on the 3 wide. And look at this, Jarman. Jono Stan is going to get himself in the mix. He's going to go 3 wide between JMX and Ridwan. So can he get two positions for the price of 1? 3 wide through this corner. Unbelievable. And Jono Stan has actually binned it onto the grass. Was he going to make a move, stick, and make it back easy? He has, and it's still 3 wide. Unbelievable scenes we're seeing here, ladies and gentlemen. And Cylon 96 is going to make a fantastic move. Can he move himself up towards the grid? He hasn't. He stays in 7th place, but wow. Unbelievable racing between Jono Stan and the rest of the pack.
Yeah, this is unbelievable stuff. 4 cars all battling it out for 4th place. As we come to 4 laps left in this race, and we've got Jono Stan and Ridwan, who's probably looking to make a move on JMX here.
Oh, JMX is going to hold Jono Stan out. This has given Dargs a great boost of confidence, a great boost of momentum, and he's actually pulled away from JMX and Jono Stan. So with only 4 laps to go, it's going to be a close finish, and hopefully for somebody like Dargs can pull away. But we know for sure he hasn't got any overtake leg as JMX runs a little bit wide. Tail happy there. And don't tell me at the back here, 3 wide again, Jarman, 2 in a row.
This is incredible stuff.
Cylon 96 thinks about making the move, and he doesn't. And he still stays in 7th place. So what was going to be another 3 wide, and hopefully to make a move on JMX and Ridwan, still in 7th place. But look at this, Jono Stan is checked out of here, and he's on the charge, and he's going to get Dargs. He's going to be hunting for Dargs for at least 3 laps to go. As JMX gets a little bit tail happy there, too much throttle application there, and he just beats the car out, but he's held that car in place.
Yeah, if I was Ridwan, I'd definitely be making use of that overtake down this straight, because these guys around him have got nothing left, so just use it and get yourself clear of these guys and get moving towards fighting for a podium.
Absolutely, so this is a great race. JMX up into 5th place, Jono Stan in 4th on the charge towards Dark 74, the Privateer. So can the Privateer driver in Dark 74 make a astonishing debut in the Formula 2 track stars? And can he claim a podium with 3 laps to go? But Jono Stan's right on his heels, but he's got no overtake juice either. So it's basically going to be a battle of the horses here, ladies and gentlemen, between Dargs and Jono Stan 96.
Yeah, it's just going to be straight out driving, no where you use the overtakes or anything like that. So it's just going to be all down the driver's skill and what tyres they have left.
Jono Stan has actually closed the gap massively, so this is going to be, it could possibly remind me of the time where Lewis Hamilton and Pierre Gasly back in 2019 had their little battle with the last 3 laps or 2 laps to go. So it's going to be a battle for the horses between Dargs 74 and Jono Stan 96. So it could be a replica of that very soon, with maybe on the last lap. But Jono Stan looks like he's got a bit more tyre grip advantage over Dargs 74. But I think because Jono Stan's on the super soft, and I believe Dargs is on the soft tyre.
Yeah, I believe you're right there. And yeah, Jono's definitely going to be on the hunt here, as there was that bit of contact between the 2 earlier on in the race, so let's see what happens this time around.
As Jono Stan's got a great exit there, and he's going to make a move on the inside, so horsepower for horsepower. Jono Stan versus Dark 74. These boys were heating it up in the early stages of the race, but they're going back at it again. Can Darks make a switchback move on Jono Stan? No, he hasn't. So unfortunately for Dark 74, that podium's gone begging for at least another race. So because Jono Stan, with his pace, he is going to run away with it. But we have to look back at where Ridwan, JMX and Cylon 96, we just see chopping and changing for places here. JMX Ridwan F1 in a Toll Mash Buds Racing sandwich there. So JMX is trying his best to help out his teammate, but his teammate's not doing much work.
No, he's certainly making it hard for him, and Cylon's got a bit of ground to make up, and if he wants as many championship points as possible in this last lap.
The last lap, ladies and gentlemen, leading the way is 5% for Satellite Racing in 1st place, followed by Broccolilli. A great performance for Broccolilli here for the Ice R Racing team, possibly getting a debut podium for that team, with Jono Stan in 3rd, Dark 74 in 4th. But this battle here, look who's in 8th place. We've got Duran 50. Where did he come from? Oh, so as you see back there, Cylon 96 pushed a little bit wide there as he's dropped himself down into 8th place there, as we might see a quick replay of what happened, but I don't think we'll have time for that because, as Viper said, comes through the negotiating the final few corners here. Oh, we will see a quick replay of what happened to Xylon 96. Did he get tagged? He did get tagged there by Ridwan F1, just unsettling the car. And Xylon has actually made his day go from bad to worse there. As we see Viper said rounding up the final corner and going to take a comfortable victory in the Trackstars Formula 2 race. It is Viper said for Satellite Racing taking out line honours and the victory for the Brazilian Grand Prix and the fastest lap on the final lap. So congratulations for Viper Set and a dominant race for the Satellite Racing crew. Unfortunately not to get Ridwan F1 in the second place, but Broccoli Lily take a bow for the Ice R Racing, their debut podium for Broccoli Lily in second place. As we see Jono Stan, a great recovery drive for Jono Stan to get third place, a deserving third place with Doug's 74, and Ridwan F1 has made a move. And what's this? What happened there in sixth place? Is Duram in sixth?
Yes, Duram got JMX on the line.
Oh, that is very unlucky for JMX. As we did see Ridwan in fifth place and Duram 50 for CP Motorsports in sixth, JMX in seventh, and the Robo Sport Camp in 10th and 12th. This is Itzy down in 13th, Devlin Calypso in 14th, and Benjo GLR 19th. The team boss will be very happy for Broccoli Lily's podium, but maybe not happy with this performance, but a great result nonetheless for Viper Z Racing and Satellite Racing. So, wow, Jarman, I couldn't believe what a race. We've had 4 rounds and so far 4 excellent races in the Formula Series.
Yeah, that was some unreal racing there and lots of battles between the drivers throughout the field. And of course, Viper Z showed a clean pair of heels and managed to run away with it in a very dominating victory from the Satellite Racing driver.
Absolutely, and a very unfortunate drive for Ridwan F1 to make a mistake in the early stages of the race, where it was looking to be a comfortable 1-2 for the team. But nonetheless, their team driver, their number 1 driver, Viper Z, leading the way and taking line honours for the Trackstars Formula 2 series for Satellite Racing. So congratulations to Viper Z and the team back in the factory at Satellite Racing. And as we look towards the race results, ladies and gentlemen, to confirm the orders, it is Viper Z taking line honours with Broccoli Lily for the Ice R Racing Team, the Intercontinental Esports Racing Team in second place, with John Osten for the Piss Vaza Racing Team in third place, with Dark 74, the sole privateer driver, in fourth place in the Formula 2 series. So a great debut for Dark 74 as Ridwan F1 rounds up the top 5.
Good results there from those 5, and especially the Satellite team will be one to watch in the future by the looks of things.
Exactly. So definitely, if they might be able to commit for Formula 2 racing and TS2 racing, they're going to be strong forces, and who knows, maybe an entry into the main series next year. Only time will tell as we run down the rest of the grid. Duram 50 on debut for CP Motorsports in the Formula 2 Trackstars in 6th, with JMX in 7th, Rugworth in 8th, so a very lonely race for Rugworth there. Highlander 215 in 9th, with Robo Sport rounding up the top 10. And following down the rest of the order, we have Mickey's 123, Kinsey in 12th, Devlin Calypso in 13th, Benjo GLR 19 in 14th, and I don't see Xylon's name there, so he must have had a bit of a disconnect as the race ended. So he'll be back in his original spot come the end of the stream and broadcast.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to review that one and make sure he ends up in the right spot for where he finished.
Exactly, so we'll have to look back at the replay of where he finished, ladies and gentlemen. But one person we don't have to keep an eye on, it is Viper Z, and possibly teams will be looking to acquire his services, at least for the Enduros coming up. So Viper Z is definitely free on the market and free on those days. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of drivers asking for his appearance in their cars. Yeah,
it's certainly one that you'd have to look out for, and yeah, there's plenty of drivers putting their names forward for possible co-driver spots.
Absolutely, so that will come later on down the line in September and October and December, but For the moment, we are focusing on our Formula Series, and we've had a great race here for round 4 at the Trackstars Formula 2 Series for the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Paz at Interlagos. So we thank our drivers, and we thank you, our viewers, for tuning in to this wonderful stream and epic race. I wonder if we're going to get the same sort of action in the main split, Jarman, so that one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it's very much possible, and of course with the 3 different tyre compounds and so on, it will definitely make a very interesting race of strategies, and sure there'll be plenty of swapping positions throughout the race.
So on behalf of myself, Spud P666 and Jarman Dalitz It's Racing, we do thank you guys for tuning into our stream. So stay tuned within the next hour or so for Nismo 86 Oz, who'll be broadcasting you the Formula Trackstars here at Brazil at Interlagos in Sao Paulo. But on behalf of the Trackstars Formula 2 team and myself and Jarman Dalitz, we wish you guys a great night and see you for the next